I'll play though. I play football.
Give it to him.
I play football.
This ain't football. Catch it now. Catch it now. See, that's when you set him up.
Hey,
Set him up. Just set him up. That's the project right there. Look at him.
He got that one.
Look, I learned that from Serena Williams. Look, he in trouble now.
Hold on, man.
No, bro. No.
Don't let it hit my side. That didn't hit my side.
Ball.
It's like skimming the table. Get right. Get right then. You 6'4", you can't even bend no more. Come on, get right.
Get over there then.
Get right then.
Get over there.
Get right. Come on, RC.
Let me see if he can catch it. Get over there.
Tell him again. Okay, peanut gallery. Hey, we not in the studio where y'all gotta like all his lyrics. Yeah, well, you gotta. It hit the white. That's gotta be out in Olympics.
This ain't the Olympics. Get over there.
Okay. Where everybody at? Ooh! Ooh! Don't nobody want ooh now? Damn it! I quit. Ping pong's stupid anyway. Appreciate you, OG. Ping pong's a stupid game. It's like the moonwalk. It's like the moonwalk. It's stupid because I can't do it.
That's the same way as I put that helmet on. My grandmother made me quit football. She said, boy, you hitting them boys too hard. I don't want you playing football no more.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant.
Percy Miller, Master P, New Orleans legend, rap icon, changed music forever for Louisiana, but also believe entrepreneurship in the way that you've evolved. So thank you for sitting with us. This is The Pivot. It's Fred Taylor, it's Channing Crowder. I'm Ryan Clark. Pivot fam, thank you for pivoting with us. Man, I remember being in college, y'all were shooting a video down here and like our entire campus coming down to watch. It was in the projects.
Yeah.
Y'all actually shot it. When you in the Calio, P, where did you get this idea that you could turn a few $1,000s into multi-millions?
Yeah, I just felt like, man, we never had nothing, and we grew up in poverty, and I always thought that one day I was gonna make it, one day I'm gonna have a better life than this, and I just kept putting my trust and faith in God. And I just think that's been a big key for me because a lot of people give up, and I always say I wanna be successful as bad as I wanna breathe, and so that's what it was for me. It was like, it's nothing else. You hungry. Like I grew up in a project with my grandparents. It's 14 kids and 2 adults. That's 16 people. And so my motivation was I wanted to get my grandmother a house and get up out the projects.
And Pete, what did you hit on back then? Like when you really made it? We know we'll go through the story because it's been well documented where the startup money came from.
Yeah.
But like, what did you hit with music? Like you see these different, you know what I'm saying, different people doing different things. What did you hit on at that time that shot you to the top?
I think about it.
But like, what's the concept of what you did?
Yeah.
Because people were talking about the same thing you talking about it and make them say,
Yeah, but I just think they didn't give it to the world the way I gave it to them. And I really believed in what I was putting out there, and I wasn't gonna stop. Like most people, they'll change when somebody say, nah, that sound okay. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna keep on pushing this because I know it's a hit. So I think you have to believe first. And so when people start seeing, I believe it caught on because I used to open up for Tupac. Before I had millions of fans, I wanted to get one fan because I know a lot of people talk about, oh, I want to get millions. I want to get, I'm like, I remember being in a concert with my brother and dude was just bouncing to my music, jumping around. I started smiling. I went and gave him a No Limit t-shirt. My brother said, what you so happy for? I said, I got one. I got a fan. He said, why you so happy? I said, I'm gonna turn that one into million. And that's when I knew I had something. Just watching somebody react to my music, knowing that I was just getting started.
P, you talk about not doing things for money now.
Yeah.
You know, having a purpose and a plan.
Yeah.
Did that mindset come from your experiences growing up in Callio?
Yeah, I mean, people don't know, they look at me as the ice cream man, but I started out as the popcorn boy. So I used to sell popcorn in the Superdome, and I bumped into Mr. Benson. I told him, man, I'm gonna be a businessman, and I'm gonna do something big. And I went from that to bringing Ricky Williams here and starting the sports agency, No Limit Sports. And like he said, I mean, he was at LSU, and I used to come over there and play basketball all the time, but sports have always been my life, always been in a team atmosphere. So I've always wanted the team to make it. It never been just about me. And so I think being an athlete and chasing that dream and that goal, even knowing that, like, think about it, you know, you guys made it in football, right? And making it in football is like hitting the lottery the same way as music. It's like hitting the lottery because a lot of people not gonna get to that level of the game. Knowing that when you have a plan and a purpose, and that I just felt like God had something else on me. I could have died in the projects at a young age. My brother died at 19, but I realized God had a purpose for me. And so, you know, that's why I go so hard, and that's why I live my life that is not just about me, which I think a lot of people, it's about them. So they do it for the money. I don't do it for the money. Like you said, having a plan and a purpose, knowing, man, if I do the right thing, the money gonna come.
Right.
The Bible say, richest man in the world, he didn't pray for money. He prayed for wisdom. And so when you look at that, that just drove me. I'm like, man, you ain't gotta be perfect. I don't live no perfect life, you know me. I mean, we all growing, and my whole thing is just keep moving and keep getting better. And I think that's the resilience. You know, and that's what I got from New Orleans. It's like when you hungry, you know, you been there.
Yeah.
Mom ain't got nothing to eat, no food on the stove, stomach growling. You gonna make it. That's all I knew. And I ain't never count like what I was gonna make or how much money I was gonna make. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna go hard. This is what I want out of life. I want something. And it's gonna be no limit. And that's basically what it was.
You mentioned the team. You know, I always thought it was cool that when I'd see you, C was there, Silk was there, like you brought your brothers with you.
Yeah.
Obviously, Romeo comes up, and he's a part of it too. What was it that made you focus on putting your family on with you as well?
For me, it's family over everything. Like I said, I grew up in a large family. And so I grew up with my grandparents. It's all about family. Even when you disagree, man, like we'll have a disagreement. 5 minutes later, we get into it with somebody else, we scrap it.
Right.
Together. Because it's love, it's family over everything.
You say family over everything, but there's an old saying, don't mix family with business.
Yeah, but that's the right one. So you could choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. And so you can't mix the business with family members that's not on the same page to do business. And I think that's where people get confused. You know, you might can't do business with your family, but you gotta love your family, no matter what. That's just how it is.
Did you ever feel like you were carrying people? Cause you the CEO, Pete.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, you bringing people up.
You know what, to be honest with you, I realized we carry each other, you know? When me and Boz started with No Limit, bro, like we carry each other. You know, whether you up or down, it's like life like a seesaw. You got to carry the people that carry you, and you carry them. I mean, that's just how we is. I mean, you know what I mean, bro, we from New Orleans. We grew up in the projects together. The ones that's solid and real. We ain't gonna agree upon everything, but, you know, somebody gotta be able to stand up and be real and not be a yes man. And you know, I mean, if it's solid, it's gonna be solid.
Yeah, you know, we talk about that seesaw as well, though. That's the way it works, right? When one side's down, the other side's up.
That's what it's about.
You know what I mean? What you try to do is get it to balance out as much as possible.
Man, other cultures do it all the time, right? Yeah. They take care of each other. Somebody got to go and stash something for the rainy days. And I think a lot of us don't understand that. We don't own nothing. We don't prepare for the rainy days. And we lose because we're not mentally prepared for that. And so that's why financial literacy is so important. And they don't teach that in our schools. They don't think about it. Everything, most of the stuff we went to school for, we probably don't even use it. I'm not saying that we shouldn't go to school, because we should. We need the education, right? But I'm saying, imagine if we was able to use the things that we was going to school for. And financial literacy is one. So every kid that get that money with you guys playing football, right? You guys get that money and you don't know what to do with it, they're gonna take it away, because these financial advisors know more than you, because all you know is football. All you know is basketball. Think about it, we looking at it right now. Anthony Davis just got traded, right? Think about it. We don't own none of that. So they're gonna push us around wherever we need to go. I don't care if we're making 200 million, 400 million, it don't matter. It's still a job. And so that's why I start looking at the financial literacy part is so important. And I just push that to our people, the ones that wanna listen. Just think about it. We all doing the right thing, but that's not good for media. You're not gonna see the media saying, look at these brothers come from the projects and look what they doing with their lives. Not know, that ain't a good. If you did something wrong, you're gonna be on the front page.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on the front page. You're gonna be on the front page. You're gonna be on the front page. They're gonna forget about everything you done.
You know, you've always, obviously what Ryan said, put your people on, your family, and immediate family.
Yeah.
But unlike a lot of these other people that have been in your position,
Yeah.
you seem to be the one that give back the most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just from trying to educate and just really educate our culture.
The thing about it, you have to love that though. I want to give back because I can't take none of this with me.
Right.
Think about it. If somebody left us the wisdom, we look at Martin Luther King, all the people that came before us, they left us something. I want to be able to live something to the next generation. So I don't care if somebody else don't like it. Doing right, having integrity, that's doing right when nobody's looking. And so that's what this about for me. I done helped a lot of people out. I don't look for nothing from them.
Right.
Because if I give you something, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
That's just it.
When you going way back, when you met Jimmy Iovine, right?
Yeah.
You said, if this white man want to offer me $1 million,
Yeah.
I know my worth.
Yeah.
But then you also have to put the work in to make that worth come to fruition, right? Speak to that. Like, how could someone that age just simply turn down $1 million coming from the projects and all that?
I mean, think about it. Our parents prepare us when we kids saying, don't talk to strangers, don't take candy from strangers. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
If a stranger offer you $1 million, you never seen them before, you never talked to them before, they give you $1 million, you don't think something coming with that?
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's where the education part came into. When I read the papers, I'm like, man, you're gonna take my name for 7 years? I can't use none of my thing. I'm like, man, hold up. Is this really worth it? And then my grandparents always taught me about the value. So think about it. If that man gonna offer me that much money and he don't know me, what am I really worth? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million? I already told you I had 16 people to go take care of when I get back to the projects. If I gave all of them $100,000, we short anyway.
Right.
So I'm not a millionaire anyway. Let's be honest.
Right.
I'm really not a millionaire. If I take that million, we ain't got no money. We back broke.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said the education piece is so important. And then when somebody comes, now you got to know what you have. I feel like, oh, I got something now.
Right.
That motivated me to go work harder. I told my son this the other day, right? My son played for the University of Houston basketball. That adversity, think about it. You just like all y'all, when you was playing football, you're a freshman, you want to be the best in the world. And my thing is, I've been showing him, I'm like, you know what? Let that pain, let that adversity take you to be great. Nobody gave you nothing. Like, you created this on your own. When they look at Mercy Miller, this kid averaged 30 points in high school in California. And now, you got to go sit on that bench for a little while, because that's just the way the program is set. You got to get out there and how to outthink. I tell him, I say, son, just keep working hard. He said, Dad, you know what? I'm just going to give it to him in practice. He said, I'm going to put it on him in practice. Just because I'm a freshman, they don't play freshmen like that. But I love that, having that mindset that you're going to be the best you could be until you get to where you need to go at. And that's the journey I've been on, to where it's like, nah, man, let them little setbacks take you to where you need to go at in life.
P, you talked about telling Mercy, let that adversity, let some of those setbacks build you up to be what you need to be.
Yeah.
What were some of the adversities and setbacks you had to fight through in order to reach the heights that you reached?
Yeah, I mean, when we first got into the music business, you ain't never really heard people from the South really break
Right.
And you know, people wasn't used to that. You know, we looked up to Lil J at Rap a Lot, Uncle Luke in Miami, and Tony Draper, Suave House. So that was the only things that I was able to see. And then when I was in the Bay Area, you know, the independent hustle. But the adversity was nobody really thought that they could do it on their own. And so you get those setbacks because these big companies got these marketing machines. And those was the things that stop you from getting to where you need to go at. And so sometimes you got to sell your soul to be able to sell millions of records. And, you know, I could have done that, but I was like, I'm gonna use that adversity and use that pain right now to figure out how to take this to the next level. And so I think that was the turning point for me, to where I knew that I was in a bad situation, but I had a feeling that I was gonna get myself out there if I keep working. Now, like you said earlier, you know, faith without work is dead. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people don't understand that because they be like, oh God, you could pray, help me. No, if you don't put the work in,
it ain't happen.
It still ain't gonna happen.
Right.
I mean, God gonna be there for you, but if you don't put the work in, it ain't gonna happen.
Everybody heard the story, the $10,000 you got from the settlement, and that's the lower story. And that's how, you know, you took that money, flipped it, flip, and now you are where you are. But I know Ice Cream Man, and I know you weren't talking about no damn bomb pops. The way you just said it, well, I don't got to take their money. I'm gonna take my own money so I can take a bigger percentage. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a genius way to do it, but people, you have
wanna know the real story?
You gotta have money to make money.
You wanna know the real story?
Yeah.
Boz worked at Cox Cable, and he gave me a couple of dollars, and we started doing what we had to do.
A couple of dollars mean $2. Couple
no,
means
I
two.
just said a couple of dollars.
That means two. That's, you know, a couple.
I'm just
when
saying,
you from New
dog.
Orleans, a couple and a few
The
is the
man
same
worked
thing.
at Cox Cable, he had the hookup.
I saw
That's also a movie.
I saw that movie
But I said
too.
that's also a movie.
Me? Listen, this is so
No,
late.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The real story was I was an altar boy, and I just kept praying.
First off, you can't laugh over there.
Bro, I was an altar boy for real, man.
Like, if he's telling this story, y'all can't laugh. Like, that cannot be on the audio. You know the story already anyway. You know he lying.
Bro,
You prayed your way into this?
bro, let me tell you something. The power of prayer is real, man. Y'all laughing,
so
man.
tell me this. How did you pray enough to have 1998? I remember like it was yesterday. It's the second half of my freshman year.
Yeah,
Every week,
Yes.
it was a No Limit album.
yes.
Every week, they selling out the stores. It had to be over $150 million of albums purchased. I think y'all dropped like 23 or something like that. In the height of No Limit, when it is Mia, Fiend, Mystical, you, Silk, C Murder, what was that time of life like for you getting to see all you had built truly be at the top?
I think walking into Priority Records, knowing that they was telling us we couldn't put out that many records at one time. Nobody has ever put out 20 records in 1 year. Me and Boz sit in Priority Records, and I just sit back and I'm like, bro, it's no limit. We about to do this. And I told them, you know, because y'all think white is right. Nah, man, we about to get this money. We about to make this happen. We gonna market and promote our products. And if y'all look at it, right, we promoted every last one of those projects inside every one that was successful. And it made every other project successful. Because you was buying Cain and Abel, you was buying all these different projects that you never heard of. But we rapped on those records. From Serve to all these different artists, Mia X. We had Snoop rapping on projects that people never heard of. And so that's why I say the whole family thing and the whole team thing, we was like, we gonna do this together. And we built that concept because when we came to LSU and you seen us in the gym, it was all of us.
Yeah.
You ain't never just seen one or two. You seen the whole crew. Everybody sitting around there playing basketball, and that's what we did. We played sports to stay in shape, and we boxed.
Y'all boxed, work out with the mitts, or y'all boxed each other?
Yeah, like if we had a problem, we say put the gloves on.
I like that.
So we ain't shoot each other up or nothing. It's like, look, bro, we got a problem. Go put the gloves on. So you're looking at our office in Baton Rouge, they had a lot of holes in the wall. No, for real. We physically boxed and played basketball. That was our entertainment.
Anybody ever tighten you up?
Everybody done lost before, dog. I'm just saying that.
I got 3 losses. I got busted. Yeah, I got.
Yeah, everybody. So the thing about fighting is just you got to fight. It ain't about winning or losing. So they are everybody. Man, I done been in a conference call, and one of the guys knock on my office and say, "Boss, I got to fight you." Boss done gave somebody some money to fight me, and I'm like, "Bro, like I really don't want to do this." Boss, I got to fight you. All right. When I get off this conference call, we're gonna put these gloves on and fix this.
Man, you coming? he coming off of a conference call, and now you gotta go throw hands, and then do you just get back to work?
Yeah, I go back to work, win or lose.
Did anybody take a dive though, P? Let's just be honest.
Let me tell y'all something. At No Limit, you don't take a dive.
P, you can't beat the boss up.
Yeah, you can.
It's not how it works.
But that's how we grew up. We grew up. Me, Bias, Fight, all of us. C, Silk, everybody. Mystical, everybody in the fought. Serve, everybody in the fought in that office. But we go right back to doing what we do. And nobody talk about it. We be done with it.
Boys out there rapping, shirt ripped, eyes swole up.
We had, you know what, we had one time the ambulance had to come to the office. Somebody got knocked out one time. That was it. But everything else was good. I think look at our sustainability. We lasted a long time.
So what No Limit was able to do almost 35 years ago, it would seem that you guys pioneered, ushered in a new form of being an independent label, and you still have a huge influence on the game right now.
Yeah.
How would you explain that?
Well, first of all, I won't say we pioneered it, but we took it to the next level. We gotta shout out rap a lot. That's opening our eyes in the Bay Area for showing me, where I got my hustle from, the Bay Area. So, I lived in Richmond, California. I moved out there and then came back home. So I learned how to hustle independent. I used to hang around E40 on St. Charles. So I learned how to, maneuver and do it the independent route. And I came back home and took it. And so I just think when I got back home, I realized I always start a business when you find something missing. What I found was what was missing was, we wasn't partying and turned up in the clubs. We wasn't jumping. So you hear Master P music, we jumping around.
Yeah.
Make them say, we jumping around. We didn't have that. Our music was more laid back. And I'm like, I'm gonna take it to the next, especially if I'm gonna go in the East Coast. If I'm gonna go to New York, I need to turn up. And so that's what we brought to the table. We also brought making money to the music industry. Because, hip hop wasn't making money. You had some of the best artists in the world. KS1, Eric B. Rakim, you had all these guys. These guys was incredible, right? But they wasn't making money. I mean, all the entertainers, they were signed to these bad deals with 7%, 14%. And I said, I want to change that. That's why I say when I start a business, I'm gonna find a problem. And I found that problem that we wasn't making money. And that's why the independent thing for me was so important.
Snoop said something about you that I found inspiring, but also when you looked at it, for him to give this sort of affirmation to the things you taught him and showed him really gave you a true depiction of what level you on. He said he never owned anything until he started to work for you. How were you able to bring in such a mega superstar and teach him things about the business and how to grow into what he has as an evolution as well?
Well, I feel like to be a good teacher, you got to be a great student. So Snoop was a great student, and he listened, he watched, he learned. And the things that we was able to show him about ownership, taking control of your brand. I mean, he's probably one of the biggest stars in the world now. And we seen that he had a lot left in the tank when a lot of people thought it was over for him. So I looked at Snoop as a used car. I'm gonna put these wheels on and fix it up, and it's gonna be brand new. A lot of people looked at during that time that Snoop career was over with. And we didn't believe that. We said, this dude is gonna be successful. He got a lot more left. And I'm just excited and happy to know that look where his career is at now. So it's a blessing, like I said, to be a great teacher, you gotta be a great student and the teacher. Once the teacher stops teaching, then you turn into the teacher. And so that's what Snoop has done. He went from, was on a company called Death Row Records to owning it. And I'm proud of it.
P, but so many times you see, whether it's in music, business, there's this CEO or this owner or this superstar that doesn't want to have other people that are superstars near them, right? Like they want the light and they want the shine to themselves. What gave you the capability to be so unselfish in those senses of like, nah, I see something in you, I want to cultivate that, and it doesn't matter what it means for me?
Nah, I mean, because it's never been about me. It's always been about the team. I can't be a millionaire till I create other millionaires. And I always looked at it like, if you're successful, then that, and I was a part of that, that makes me feel good. That's what I do it for. Like, I don't want to be in the music business forever. That ain't why I got into the game. I'm like, man, I want my people to make it. I want to be able to have those testimonies where people could walk around and say, man, P was a part of my life. He kept it real. I don't tie people into lifetime deals. A lot of these guys, I could have signed Snoop and took his career and been, this is a lifetime deal with the type of money we gave him, right? Nah, I'm like, bro, long as I make my money back, we good. I have my own talent. I'm gonna be okay. Like I don't live for that. I put my trust and faith in God, and I think when you do that, you're gonna always be blessed. And so when you be a blessing to somebody, those blessings gonna come back. And so I just think that's the way I've always thought. Like we never sit around and say, okay, if this person go on with their life and they make it, we're not gonna be successful. No. We're gonna be successful. We're gonna be even more successful because now we creating success. And that's what we did at No Limit. We created more success out there.
As the boss, the decision maker, but also you was rapping. Like we all know, we know your verses. Is it humbling when you get on something and you killed it, and then See a Silk came back, a Mystical, and you like, oh no, y'all going last. I'm gonna move my verse up, y'all going last.
Now, you know what, it's always been fun. Like it's like when we do music, it gotta be a feeling and it gotta be fun. And so when we know we having fun, and this how we know we got a hit song. After we get done and we know By's still singing it and he jumping around, we like, okay, we got something. KLC, like, you know, KLC done whipped up a beat or something and we like, oh yeah, you know, we got it. And we just make it happen. I just think that's the difference with, I think a lot of people don't realize I don't write music. I never wrote music. Everything that you hear just come all the stuff I've been through. People don't know I'm about to do my television series, The Ice Cream Man. So y'all don't know I was electrocuted, went through my feet and came out my hand. And so I was 5 years old. I wasn't supposed to make it. And I knew that God had something bigger for me. And so I feel like I used that as motivation to keep going and do whatever I need to do.
They don't know. They know now. They gonna watch the pivot. What's the biggest lesson or most important thing you've learned along your journey?
I think the most important thing I learned is don't be afraid to feel. So I think that when people see us, they see all the success and see where we at, but we fail so many times. And I think that's what keeps me going. That's what get me up in the morning. It's like, man, look, that one hit is gonna take all the pain away. Y'all know when y'all playing football, right? You like everything that you done, you got up early in the morning to come to do this, you're doing it for free. Think about it. So finally, once you got to the league, you like, man.
They're gonna pay me.
They're gonna pay me because you know you put the work in. And so that's the thing for me. I always feel like if I keep working, I keep putting the work in, everything else gonna be all right.
I want to shift gears a little bit because the great thing about having these people that we admire, especially now with social media, is you get to see them live life. You get to see the ups and downs. And recently, I think it's the end of like 2023, you and Romeo had to come back together, right? There was some public bickering and you said, and both of you guys said, after some hard conversations, we're moving forward. What was it like to experience that as a father and then work your way through it to come back together with Romeo?
I just think parenting has no blueprint. And so you gotta look at it. For me, right, I've been through a lot, but you have to learn how to communicate. And that's what me and my son had to learn how to do. We had to learn how to communicate and communicate in love. And I'm glad that everything that happened, we able to take our love to the next level, because that's my son. I'm gonna do whatever for him. He gonna do whatever for me. But you gotta go through stuff as parents and even as a family. So it's been a blessing, man. To be honest, it's been a blessing knowing that, you know, some things you don't understand, but also you gotta let God do what he do. And I think you can't put your feelings and your emotions into nothing when it comes to family. And that's what I learned from that. And I think that's how we create a strong family. That's why I say family over everything.
When did Ty pass? Was it 2022?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine dealing with that sort of loss, that sort of pain.
Well,
How did that affect you?
Well, you know what, to be honest with y'all, and that's what we do. For my daughter, we live on and we move on, but the most important thing is we able to let other people see. Like, we're not perfect, our family go through stuff, like people gotta realize, man, drugs kill.
Yeah.
Mental illness is real. That's why we started these foundations. You're Not Alone Foundation. We started TeamHopeFoundation.org, like to help save these young people from themselves. Because think about it, once you a risk taker, and y'all know, like, these drugs now could kill you instantly. You gotta watch the people you hang around. And when you talk about parenting, you gotta be on the same accord. You can't just be a parent to like, oh, let your kid go here, go there. Now, I mean, we learned a valuable lesson that sometimes you gotta, even though you gotta have that tough love, that communication is so important, because you never know what somebody else is going through or what they're dealing with. So that was probably one of the hardest things for us as a family, and to be able to help save other families that's dealing with these type of issues. Mental illness is real. I do a concert for my birthday every year. So May 9th, if y'all in New Orleans, is at the Smoothie King. Yeah. We raise money to help other families to save their kids, and that's what it's about.
Oh, you gonna bring it? Yeah, that's what I need.
Y'all can hold that in y'all hand if y'all want it.
We got you, dog.
Yeah,
I'll take whatever.
The best flavor, yes, sir.
You got old pineapple.
Yeah.
You remember back in the day, you get the old pineapple big shot.
Yeah.
Hey, they don't know nothing about that. Pineapple big shot is diabetes.
Okay, you open yours, Fred over here, and I'm allowed to open mine.
That's it.
Mine, bro.
You know, P, like, I think so many times when people sit and you get to talk to someone who's extremely successful, you don't realize how much they've gone through. And you're talking about giving back and all of the things that you had to put in place, you know, to help other people who have loved ones, or a daughter like you who was going through what Ty was going through. Yeah. For you though, how did you and your family work through that pain yourselves in order to be able to give back?
It's a pain that I wouldn't wish this on nobody, but we all gonna deal with it. Think about it, we all sitting here, 100 years from now, nobody gonna remember none of us, because everybody gonna die. Mm-hmm. And so you gotta know, are you living right? So you just gotta live right and not live in regret. And I feel like God put me on this earth to be a servant and a help. And so that's what I'm doing. I think the craziest thing for me, right, when I start doing this, all my friends that are rich, if I say, let's go to the club and turn up, they're ready to turn up. They'll spend $200,000, $300,000, whatever, $1 million. If I say, man, let's go do something to save these kids' lives, to make a change. And if I say we need $10,000, oh man, hit me back next week. So, and that's why I started TeamHopeFoundation.org. I said, you know, I'm gonna do this on my own. But it's for me, with my business, that's why I create all these products and brands, because the more we make, the more we give. And this is not for everybody. I know it. This is not for everybody. I'm not waiting on the government. I'm not, you know, I do this. I got a cousin that created Operation Respiration. Now, I don't know if you heard of that, Sarita, and she take women that's been incarcerated. And so I support her with that, because there's a lot of women that's in prison that probably shouldn't be in there, that can't pay for a lawyer. They can't get the right things they need, depending on them tools and all these different things they need. And so, but we got to support each other. If I tell people, hey, let's support these women, let's try to help them. Same thing I do with the kids. I'm in love with the kids to help them. I want them to have the things that I couldn't have. Mm-hmm. I want them to be able to deal with mental illness and not to get to the level to where they lose their lives. How do we prevent them from getting to that level? But it's probably the craziest thing that I experienced. I don't know if you guys understand this, how many people really want to help. Even the media don't write about that stuff. They don't want to see that we was doing something negative, be front page news.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, we making sure when we talk about financial literacy, we making sure the kids this week getting 500 computers at the schools out here in New Orleans, right? We deal with these inner city kids, but that ain't good news. That ain't good media. But what is good media is something negative. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to change lives and save lives, but do our people really care about that? That don't get clicks and views, right? Yeah. And so that's the mission I'm on. So obviously you can't do that. You get your rewards in heaven.
As powerful as you are, you got a bunch of bread, and almost feeling helpless to stuff. Yeah. Like with mental illness, with family health problems, with different things. Like you saying, man, you can't change everybody's life, but do you ever feel helpless?
Think about this, right? Mental illness is real. In the project, people hide their people in the closet when you come over. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. You don't want to say this person, you know, got a mental illness. You just, he got a problem, or he's sick, you know what I'm saying?
You lie about it, you'd be embarrassed. Like that wasn't, in our culture, that's not conversations you had about your family members.
Yes, but that's why we have to change that. That's why I say you're not alone. Like, it's a lot of people that's not alone, man. I done met some incredible people that lost kids, because now these kids are dying before the parents. Because think about it, even in the music, you know, they want to die young. Like we never lived like that, bro. Like it's okay to get older. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you give 4 years to being incarcerated, or 10 years of life to being incarcerated, when you could give 4 years to create a business or go to college? Well, we glorify that, right? We got to change that. Even like we saying on the mental illness part, we got to stop making people feel bad, because it can be fixed. Some people might need medicine, they might need counseling. That's what we do this for. And we do this for people in our communities that don't get this type of help. But I mean, we know it. I mean, if you got the NFL down here right now, right? You got all these different big companies. We have to be able to get them to get on the front line with us to help the ones that really need it. Because these big hospitals and stuff, I'm not saying that they don't need it, how can we get them to say, you know, we see these people firsthand in these communities that just they can't even fill out the paperwork. So think about it, if you had something from the NFL right now to say we helping them, they don't even know how to fill out the paperwork.
To know even how to get the help.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I just want to talk to P, man. We all got daughters, bro.
Yes.
And those girls, they melt our heart. Yes. I can't even imagine being able to get through, you know, that moment. But like, how were you able to push through, and how's everything now? I'm
gonna tell you right now, you don't get through it. You just keep going. Whoever wake up and live, gotta keep going. That's just it. Like I mean, even when you look at down here being from New Orleans, we celebrate that. We march in the street, we second line. We don't sit around and just cry. I can't sit around and cry. Bro, I miss my daughter, I love her. I can't just sit around and cry. I gotta do something, because then you'll really go crazy. Let's be honest, then I'll do something, I'll probably be on CNN News.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, now you just gotta keep going. Right. Like I said, 100 years from now, nobody's gonna remember none of us. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said, okay, what's the problem? The problem is a lot of this stuff is mental. That's why they call it mental illness. So you thinking that you could take something that could ease your pain or make you feel good for a second. Mm-hmm.
Take you away.
Take you away.
Pete, like coming from where we've come from, we glorify a lot of times the wrong things.
Yes.
And Channing was kind of alluding to your altar boyerism and how it got you into music. But you know, man, like I listened to all the music and you did talk about things you saw growing up, things you experienced. When did it click for you that I have to stop glorifying these things and start sowing back into my community to help the people that come from the same things that I come from?
When I started seeing different. So think about it, they say a wise man change, but a fool never will. A fool ain't gonna change because they thinking they gotta be tough, they gotta be, no. But we never was like that. We just stood up when it's time to stand up. We never been afraid of bullies. Cause we grew up in a project, right? But we never wanted to be tough guys. I never wanted to be a gangster. I never wanted to be all that. It was all about survival for me. And so as I get to a different level of life, I don't see what I see when I was making that music and living in a project. I don't see that no more. I see mansions, I see nice things, you know what I'm saying? But when I was in a project, I was in that moment. Like I told you, I don't write music, it come from the soul. So if I'm not living like that no more, I'm gonna talk about the stuff I'm living. I'm talking about creating trust accounts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like LLCs.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. I could walk around, I could have some penny loafers on in a suit. I had a suit jacket on. I was in this downtown and go and do some business, and a guy just come on the elevator and he started growling at me. I said, damn. But it was like 4 other white guys on the elevator with me, right?
Right.
I don't know if he was trying to scare them. I said, bro, I'm not the one. Even though I was dressed the way I was dressed, he probably feel like, man. The crazy part about it, right, the guy was just asking people for money on the elevator. And you know me, I'm a giver. So I would have gave it to him. I wanted to. But when he started acting up like that, I was like,
can't get it like that.
Can't get it like that, dog. Like, you can't soft press me. Like, I'm cool.
And P, as your life changed, like you said, you had other problems, and then now you progressing. Now you talking about you looking at mansions, you ain't looking at projects no more. Then, like, do you ever, I would say, change what you think or not say something, even with the politics, even as things change, the stuff come out about all, this crazy shit that's going on with the Puff Daddy and all this stuff, and you come out politically strong. Like, is it ever strategic what you say, or how you feel you talk? Like, I don't give a damn what you worry about.
To be honest with you, I think a lot of people worry about getting canceled and all this stuff. I just worry about doing the right thing from my heart. And so I feel like if you do the right thing, God will take care of the rest. And so when I wake up with integrity. Like, I'm not perfect, I'm a work in progress, and I'm waking up to do the right thing. And especially, I want to help my people. Everything that I do, I want to show our culture that we could be better. And so if you look at me and seeing that I'm getting better, I feel like other people could get better too. Say, man, P was once living like this. Mm-hmm. He was about it. But look how he living now, but you got to be able to change. Like, everybody can't change. They don't want to change. They want to be the same. And I just think that God has blessed me to where I know that I could grow. And if not, I feel like if our people see our growth, like, then they could see, like, oh, them boys change for the good. Because think about it, if you look at a lot of these white guys that's running these corporations, go look underneath their shirts, they got tattoos, they done been to jail, they got all kinds, but they got second chances. How come we can't get it?
So, like, even in this sort of climate right now, there's this huge attack, P, on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it kind of goes to your point. We're watching friends hire friends.
Yes.
We're watching people who are less qualified get jobs. How much does that speak to what you always preached about ownership, though? Yeah. And having that representation where somebody like you can bring people along that look like you and been where you from.
Well, the thing about it, right? If you own the company or you the boss, you can do whatever you want to do. We just never own nothing. So when we see this stuff, it's hard for us to digest. You're like, man, he just hired all his friends or he hired his family. He could do that. Oh, they was mad with LeBron James when his son got, like, bro, like, y'all ain't see that we could do certain things too, even though the kid could play, but still, if your daddy LeBron, why you get mad? Go look at some of those charts down the line that you done seen where they done let this person in. I played against a bunch of guys in the NBA that I knew wasn't that good. Mm-hmm. That I'm like, oh, he got $4 million? Like, how did he get that? But he was cool with the owner of the team or the coach.
The assistant coach.
Some dudes go marry the owner of the team's daughter. Like, let's be real. You ain't gonna get cut. You know? So, I mean, that's just life. Right. It's not fair. Business is not fair. And so when we see that, but it's like, we gotta do that now. That's why I say ownership is so important because now we can control the narrative. You see these Fortune 500 companies. We make 1/10 of African-American CEOs. And so we can't control that because we can't even CEO these companies. Imagine if we was the CEOs of these companies, imagine the things that we could do. And now, like we was talking about, helping the foundations, helping the community, because now it's not enough for us, so the money go back to what community? If we only make 1/10, so
Not coming back to
it's not coming back to our community, it's coming back to their values and their views. The same thing with everything else, right? If they tell us something, we gotta abide by it. Even if they're wrong, you just gotta abide by it. Because think about it, I know several times y'all probably left the locker room and they sent you somewhere else, or cut you, or fired you, or whatever, and you gotta go. You can't say nothing about it. Now you gotta sit down and say, but that's what I'm saying. You got to bite your lip and you gotta figure out how you gonna create something for you. Or you gotta go find another job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's be honest. Or you won't live the life that you was living. Now you gotta drop your lifestyle down. I was reading the lady from, I think it was IBM or something. When IBM went bad, they blamed everything on her. And next thing you know, this lady took to the streets. So thinking this was a white lady. So I was like, wow, it ain't just us. Once times get hard, you got to go out and figure out. So it is. Now I realize in life, it's about good people and bad people. That's it. It's not just the color no more. It's good people and bad people.
You know business, we know
Yeah.
that. You know NBA,
Yeah.
we know that.
Yeah.
Luka.
I know football too.
Well, we know you know
Well,
football,
Freddie
too.
T, what he know is how to call fouls at the rec center.
Man, don't believe that.
when
dog.
he don't make the bucket.
I ain't never
And see,
called no
when he
foul.
when he got with Toronto and Charlotte, they was like,
Nah.
man, P, you can't
Bruh,
call no foul up here.
That
But
don't
P
even
was a
sound
bucket,
right.
though.
Bruh, that don't even sound right? I don't call no fouls. I done been in some of the, that's how I grew up. It's like, well, you can't call no foul, but you got to be willing to take it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give it back to you.
So what was that a foul the other night? The Mavs in the Lakers trade?
That was just
Luka?
business. It's just that, guess what? They so high up, you couldn't be in their business. That's why everybody mad. That's why I was saying we got to get us some big business like that so we could play chess. We playing checkers. We couldn't see the move.
Right.
We like, wow, hold up. That boy made 200, 300 million and they just replaced him
Right.
and put him on a plane and put him somewhere else. When we gonna be making moves like that?
Right.
Think about it, we making $2 moves. They making $1 million moves.
Well, I tell you, P, if anybody gonna make a bigger move, it's gonna be you of these folks sitting here.
Yeah.
But I know you own Gators. You are owner of the Gators, New Orleans Gators. What about the bigger teams? What about you?
Coming, so it's almost like real estate. You gotta start buying the little small houses first before you get into the big houses. And so, y'all not told y'all product always tell them to make them say,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think about, look how good that look, right? This salsa. And nobody didn't believe that we could do it. They ain't see me coming.
Yeah.
The only drink in the world that make you say, and it's black on.
And you can get in them rooms and
Get in
market
the room.
it.
And guess what? I also got the champagne.
Louisiana legend, New Orleans legend, now be in the Walk of Fame here. What does that sort of award, that sort of recognition mean to you?
It mean everything to me to be able to celebrate the trailblazers from New Orleans. Like, you are one, right? Our people don't get that. Like, you have the Hollywood Walk of Fame and you go to Hollywood and you see that. New Orleans is our own special place. And I just can't wait to be able to put those plaques on Canal Street and show the world this person, that person, they from here. A lot of these kids don't even know that these people are from here and what they done. But they will now. Yeah. And that's the thing that I'm excited about. But I'm also excited about the curriculum because we created a curriculum with this in a museum. So now these kids will be able to study and see, wow, this person did this. Their life wasn't perfect, but look what they turned around and look where they are now, from entertainers to business people to political people. I mean, I want these kids from New Orleans to be inspired by these people. that come from here so they can see that they can make it. So that's what this is about, the NOLA Walk of Fame, which is going to be incredible.
Yeah, now you've inspired us on the outside looking in, man. But we always ask our guests this one question every show. What's your biggest pivot in life? That's that one moment you can look back on and say, without this happening, I wouldn't be who I am today.
My biggest pivot is without getting cut from the Charlotte Hornets, I wouldn't be where I'm at in life, because I realized when you done put so much into something and they still send you home. Because I gave up. I'm going to just be honest with you. I know y'all look at me like, man, Pete, playing with the Charlotte Hornets, he just went for a tryout. No, that ain't happen like that. Now go do your research. When you see my series, I played in the CBA, the ABA. Bro, I went through it all. John Lucas up in Houston, working every day, every summer. Like, I trained like a real professional athlete. Basketball was my life, right? When you know no matter what you do, you still gonna feel that, then it's like, okay, you need to do something now to make a difference, and you need to do something that you can control. Because think about it, at the end of the day, no matter how good we is in sports, it only lasts a certain amount of years. You can't go past 40 times. I don't care how good you is, right? 40 times is gonna shut it down. And so I had to get something that made me realize, like, I needed to do something that's gonna outlast everything else that I can keep doing. And so that's when the passion came to making sure I give back, doing the right thing, helping other people. So it's bigger than now my business. The philanthropy part, this is what changed my life, to where now I don't get up to say, hey, I'm working even for my family. I'm working to make a difference. I'm working to create change. I want to see some other people that has no intentions be happy. These little kids, when I go to these little kids, they call me Coach Pete. It's a difference. It's like, you're not Master P, you're not Percy Miller. These little kids don't want nothing. Whatever I have, they happy that I'm spending time with them. And so you got to be able to spend time with people. Like, so that's the journey I'm on. Right. Because we run out of time.
Yeah.
Nobody is promised time. Like, you don't have time forever. Think about it right now. How long Kobe Bryant been dead? We probably don't even know.
21?
5.
20?
But see, think about it.
20.
Okay. Everybody went on. He was the greatest player in the world to us, right? And they only said it when he died. Nobody now, right now, you people, oh, is LeBron or is it Michael Jordan? No, y'all was doing that with Kobe. You ain't even doing it no more. Now it's Kobe this, Kobe that. With Kobe, man, they said all kind of stuff about Kobe when they said nobody really wanted to give that man his flowers when he was here. So I started realizing this material stuff, we can't take it with us.
Yeah.
That man had planes, he had helicopters, he had mansions, all that stuff still here. He gone. So I realized you can't take none of this with you. It's what you're gonna do while you're here. And I'm not letting nobody cut me no more.
That's a bar, man. That is a bar.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't cut me, I'm uncuttable. Because I didn't come here to be on your team.
Well, man, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Master P, this is Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder, Ryan Clark, here from Studio B, Brandon Odoms, here in the NO.
Yes.
It's just amazing to sit with you. Just an opportunity that I've wanted for an extremely long time to just share stories with you, listen to all the things that you've been through, but also give you a chance to just give game back to the people who watch our show, man. Thank you. You continue being you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, family.
All right.
My dog said he is uncuttable.
I'm uncuttable. I'm uncuttable.
Much respect.
Uncuttable.
Sure.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On a mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On a